Good flyer. You gotta do a couple passes. Good flyer. It's really quiet sounding. Okay, so let's get in this box, see what we get, then we'll get it set up and then take it on outside to fly. So here's your box here. Okay, you got QR codes for the app, which makes it easy. And it looks like there's a 1080p version, and I got the 720p version. Well, that's all right. Okay, let's open it up. There we go. So here's the drone right here. Now, looks like the camera is tiltable. Yep, so you can tilt the camera there. See that? And there's two LEDs here. And it does have a similar build to the Tello. The way that the arms are built is very similar. And see, it looks like there's some type of sensors there, but that's not. Those aren't sensors. I don't see an SD card slot either. There's our Wi-Fi antenna. And I actually took the battery out to charge it, so let me grab that. This is the power button. So on off switch there. Okay, so here's the battery. It's a 3.7 volt, 1000 milliamp hour battery, proprietary of course. And this is the USB charger that comes with it. When the red light goes out, you know it's fully charged, and it just plugs in just like so. All right, so let's go ahead and get this in the little drone here. Make sure, see these contacts face upward, and you just slide it right on in there. And hold the button down, and that'll power on the drone. So this R020 obviously has taken some design cues from the Tello, and I just happen to have the Tello right here. So this one is a little bit wider. Looks like it has a little bit of a bigger form factor or footprint here, and you can see that the arms are very similar to that of the Tello. Looks like the props are a little smaller. Motors look like they're a little bit smaller as well. And maybe I'll go ahead and throw the prop guards on here and then compare them that way as well. But first, let's keep it moving and let's pull the controller out. And looks like everything is labeled here on the controller, at least in terms of icons. So there's your auto takeoff, auto land. These are your trims, power button, and self-centering sticks. And you've got 4 trigger buttons here. And here's where your phone goes in. And matter of fact, let's see if I'll have to take my bumper off. Nope. Uh-oh. Let's try it again. Okay, good. Looks like that'll fit. All right, let's see what's underneath here. Okay, we get a set of extra props. There's our manual, maybe a quick start guide or something. Yep. And this is going to tell us about the app. The name of the app is HTS-UFO. And that's everything in the box. Guess what? No screwdriver. Okay, so according to the manual, this button is to enter 1 key return. This is for headless mode right here. Once again, that's to do flips, and this one right here is to change your rates, and I believe there are 3 rates. And I think this little sucker is going to be fast. I tried it just in the kitchen, did a little hover and changed the rates, and the yaw rate increased significantly, and the pitch did as well. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. because I like speed. Okay, now the way you have to install the prop guards, not my favorite thing in the world at all. I don't really like this. You see these little nubs here? Well, if you take a look at the prop guard, you see that little slot there. You're supposed to put it on and somehow slip that over that little notch. But for me, I feel like I'm bending the frame too much, and this little notch seems like it's starting to bend already. So not sure I'm liking that design there, but let me put the prop guards on anyway, just so we can compare it to the Tello. And looks like this one's a little bit bigger. Yep, definitely a little bigger, not by much. And these prop guards are a bit thicker than what you have on the Tello, but they're not as stiff either. So there you go. Now, what makes the Tello great? A few things actually. The 5 megapixel photos that it takes are great. The hover stability, due to the downward facing sensors, and the overall stability of this thing, and the way it flies in general, are really, really good. And it has those automated features, but the hover stability and the camera are the two best things. Now, where the Tello falters is in the stuttering video. So this one has a camera, it's 720p, Wi-Fi of course, and it doesn't have any downward facing sensors. So but I think where this one is unique is in its sports flying ability. At least that's my hunch, so we'll see about that. Okay, so here's the app you're going to want to go ahead and download. It's the HTS-UFO app. Let's get it downloaded, get it connected, then we're going to take it out and fly. Okay, so we are all connected to the RedPawz R020. We have a live feed. That feed looks really good actually. Let's go ahead and do a gyro calibration. The quad is on a flat surface here. We're going to bring the sticks to the lower right. You'll hear it beep. The lights should flash there. Once they're done, you are calibrated. All right, let's go ahead and snap off a photo first thing. Try that again. Okay. And let's turn the video camera on, and let's go ahead and do an auto takeoff. It is in the air. It seems to be pretty stable and smooth. That low rate should be slow enough for beginners to handle. Let's fly it around a little bit here. That is really slow and prodding. This is your yaw rate here. That's as fast as it gets there. Alright, let's try a flip. Pretty good flips. Alright, let's see how that video is doing. Wow, that looks pretty good. Now, video always looks better on your phone because the screen is smaller. And once you get it on, you know, like your computer monitor or something like that, you can start to see the actual quality of it. So I'll reserve judgment until then, but from what I'm seeing here, it looks really, really good. The colors look good. It looks really clear. All right, let's go up to the next rate. Uh-oh, I think I put it in headless mode there. Okay, so this is the medium rate. Let me bring it back so you can see it. Thing is tiny. Yaw rate increases a little, but not much. But we do get a little more pitch. So we get some more speed here. Good flyer. Good flyer. Now this one's kind of billed as a Tello competitor, but I don't know. I think this one might be a little sportier than the Tello, and the video quality looks really good so far. Okay, let's go up to the high rate. Let's Bring it back so you can see that yaw rate. Wow, that is crazy. That yaw rate is super fast. Let's check out the pitch on it. I think this one might be fast. Oh yeah, that sucker moves. Now the problem with the yaw rate in the high speed is that it will spin out when you try to do turns. So you really have to just sort of feather those turns, because otherwise it'll just do this on you. It'll spin out. I'm never really a big fan of quads that have yaw rates that are that fast. It's unnecessary, really. See that? You don't need a yaw rate that fast unless you're doing FPV with goggles on. Okay, feed looks really good. So I'm just gonna let it kind of fly around nice and stable here, just like that. I'm gonna take it down to medium. I think that's the way I would fly it. Okay, let's bring it back. I'm gonna turn the video off. Well, first let me see if I can take a photo while it's recording video. Let's try that. Yep, we can. Okay, so it's just gonna screenshot the video. So let me give it a little altitude, not much. This thing is small. Now, one of the best things about the Tello is the camera, the photos that it takes. Not so much the video, but the photos. The photos are great with that 5 megapixel camera. So let's take a look at how this one performs in terms of the camera. It's drifting on me. I should probably trim it up some, because there's very little wind. Okay, that's better. That's better. Wow. Yeah, that's a little better. But yeah, this is definitely the rate to fly in if you want some speed without that crazy yaw rate. Let me bring it back so you can see it. Probably filming the ground here, but you got to do a couple passes. Good flyer. Okay, I'm going to kick it up to the high rate and do a pass that way. Being careful of that yaw. Smooth flyer too. It's really quiet sounding. See, I'm sort of losing it because of that yaw. So I would say be very careful when you put it in the high rate, because that yaw rate could cause you to lose orientation really easily. Okay. Flight clock is up in the upper left hand corner, as it always is. And looks like it's not level. See that? See how crooked it is? That's weird. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and land it. And let's see if we do a gyro calibration, if that straightens it out. Okay, let's turn off the video camera. Let's do a calibration. See if that'll straighten it up for us. Alright, let's turn that video back on. That feed looks really, really good. I hope the camera looks good once we are able to see it on a larger screen. Auto takeoff. That's better. That's much better. Much, much better. Okay, let's fly it around a little. Give it a little altitude so we can check out the camera. Looks good, man. The colors look really good. Nice and blue, nice greens. And as you can see, if you fly it really slow and steady, you can get decent footage. Alright, let's come on back my way here. Fighting the wind now. Okay, that was the low rate. Now we're in the medium rate. Good flyer. And from my initial impression is the camera looks pretty good too. Slow it down. All right, I don't think I'm taking very many photos, so let's do that. Take it up a little bit, take some photos. There's one. There's another. Turn it around here. Take another. There we go. And let's take another. Now the video feed is breaking up a little bit as I go out to distance, but that's pretty typical for most Wi-Fi quadcopters like this. And I wouldn't fly this one any further than what you see me flying it. I just don't think it's wise to do so. First of all, it's going to be hard for you to see it, and it's easy for you to lose orientation as well. I think we're doing really well on flight time. Let's try some more flips. Yep, still flipping. That's that's one of my tests to determine how much power we still have. If the drone will still do flips, then you probably still have pretty good battery life. Once it reaches low battery, it will no longer do flips. Yeah, but it flies just fine. Now, the one problem that the Tello has is the video stutters and skips. So if we get smooth video out of this one, that's definitely a one thing that it does better than the Tello. And if the photos look as good as they look on my phone, I don't know, this might be a contender. But the one thing it definitely doesn't do as well as the Tello is stability, because it does not have any sensors on the bottom like the Tello does. That Tello, you launch that thing, you let off the sticks, and it stays in its position as if it has GPS. You're not going to get that out of this one, so don't expect that. So really the comparison here between this one and the Tello is going to be that camera. At least that's going to be my focus. And in terms of flight performance, the other thing that it has over the Tello, obviously, is that it has a controller, a physical controller. So you're not flying this one with your phone, although you can if you want. So in terms of flyability and maneuverability, this one is going to beat the Tello out because it has a physical controller. And it flies really well. Really well. Okay, I think that is our flight time. Just self-land it. Let's turn off the video. And if I can shut off the motors or throttle down. Okay, it's not. Okay. I just hit the auto land button for it to shut off the motors. And by the way, if you want to manually start the motors, you can bring the sticks to the outside lower corners. But I don't think it's going to do it now since the battery's low. But that's how you start the motors up or unlock the motors, just bringing the sticks out just like that, if you don't want to just do the auto takeoff. All right, not too bad, not too bad. All right, let me regroup a little bit and then I'll give you my final thoughts.
So I had a chance to look at the video and photos, and they look pretty good. Even though it's only 720p, I think it produces decent images for what it is. It does not take an SD card though, so it suffers from drop frames in the video at times. So it has that in common with the Tello. How about that flight time? You don't generally get 10 minutes of flight time with these small toy grade drones. But this is a toy grade quadcopter with good flight performance, except for the disproportionate yaw speed that makes flying in the high rate more of a challenge than it needs to be. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I like zippy quads that I can zip around, and I can do that with this one. So I like it. Well, that's my take. Thanks for watching, and until we meet again, be good to somebody and be good to yourself. I will see y'all in the next one. Later.